Welcome back to the best division in football with your boys Awthentik and The Beard, the best television show not on TV. Wanted to start the show today with a special shout out to the homie Blake Martinez one time, who retired today at just the age of 28 years old. All of us over here at Awthentik and The Beard, the whole entire squad, the whole entire family over here, definitely wish you well in all your endeavors outside of football. The Giants also made a move today. We signed veteran defensive back Terrell Burgess to the practice squad. Originally a third-round selection by the Rams in the 2020 NFL Draft. He played in 30 regular season games with just 3 starts, so we'll see how that pans out. We're definitely going to need some help in the defensive back category with Xavier McKinney out now. We got 4 games to cover tonight. We got the Cowboys, who are headed to the frozen tundra to take on the Green Bay Packers. The Giants will welcome the 1-6-1 Houston Texans to MetLife. The Washington Commanders are headed to Philly to take on the Eagles on Monday night. That should be a really good matchup there. And tonight on Thursday Night Football, the Atlanta Falcons are going to take on the Panthers one time. And also, make sure y'all stay tuned for the trivia segment we're going to have after we do the Giants breakdown. A lucky family member is going to take home a Daniel Jones rookie card tonight if you can guess this quarterback-related trivia question correctly tonight. So, without further ado, let me bring in the best co-host in the country, the strong side to my left side. You got to say that side like that one time. My brother, your brother from another. The Beard is in the building one time, repping them Commanders. How you living, brother?
You know what? I don't know. It was when you selected this beat, it was just like my whole energy just changed. Like I kind of got a little excited. I was like, I just kind of realized, I was so deep into the numbers because, we got to provide y'all with enough nuggets to keep the whole family fed for the whole show.
You can't pull up with you remember the video that went around, right, where when the Pops came and he showed up with the McDonald's for just his son. He didn't bring the McDonald's for the baby mama's other sons. That would be like doing that. We can't just show up with 4 nuggets and a small paper fry. That's not the vibes.
No. We definitely came with the custom made that you can only get from DoorDash 40-piece nugget for sure. And then, obviously, like I'm just, I think there's some interesting matchups, not only in just, the NFC East, but this whole week. Once again, I think there's only one game this week with 2 teams that have winning records. So there's a lot at stake here for a lot of these teams, especially, the Washington Commanders and the New York Giants. And then obviously, the Eagles are looking to stay undefeated. The Cowboys are coming off a bye week. They're trying to, it's like a college over there in Dallas right now, the way that they're trying to recruit Mr. Odell Beckham Jr.
So they got to pump the brakes. I just sent Chaz a DM on Instagram literally right before we went on because I saw he shared some about Odell Beckham, some quotes that had a picture and whatnot. And I was like, please no. Even though I really wouldn't mind it, I don't want to hear Chaz hitting me up talking about, hey, we got the most swaggiest player in the NFL on our team now. That's not a good look for me.
No, I mean, it would not be a good look for all of us in the NFC East, obviously, because, I think they're definitely missing Amari Cooper to a certain extent. And that's nothing to say bad against CeeDee Lamb or Michael Gallup. I think Michael Gallup's just going to take a little bit of time to come back from that injury. It's almost impossible to just come right back out like an absolute, monster. It takes time for these guys. So that's where I'm at with that. But yeah, I mean, we got some exciting games. Obviously, a lot of craziness going on here in Washington, as per usual. So, we're trying to focus on the football side of things, and we'll see how bad Taylor Heineke plays this week, and hopefully no, I'm just playing, so no, but I'm not. But we'll see.
Not really, I know, right?
We'll see how it goes, but I definitely want to give a big shout-out to everybody who's watching us right now on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. Definitely hit that thumbs up, guys. If you're on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitch, come on over to YouTube because we're going to be giving away.
I forget sometimes that we're broadcasting to Facebook and Twitch, and Facebook is full of a bunch of homies from high school and whatnot, people I've, met throughout the years in music and whatnot. And I be forgetting when I'm losing my mind over here about the Giants and about the NFC East, I forget that all these people are watching and these people on Twitter as well. But definitely big shout out to everybody who is checking us out, man. All the new subscribers, the channel's just been booming. We definitely appreciate y'all, man. And if it's your first time here, man, welcome to the family. Y'all know what it is over here at Awthentik and The Beard, man. Keep trying to raise that bar. That's all we keep trying to do.
Absolutely. Listen, quick question. So we're down to like the last of the Halloween candy that nobody came to trick or treat for, which is
Yeah.
basically lollipops, paydays, and milk duds. Because
Paydays are fire.
Are they?
They're fire. Paydays are fire.
Okay. Josie's never had a milk dud till today.
That's kind of interesting. Milk Dud, I give it a good 5.8 IMDb rating.
Yeah, they're a little difficult to eat for sure. But big shout outs coming your way right now. I forgot I wanted to ask you about that.
Yo, we had no trick-or-treaters pull up, man. Yo,
None.
They
We
were
had
like,
zero.
None. Zero. Absolutely
Not
zero.
one. Not one.
Yeah,
but
man.
big shout out to JMO. I know that you were first here, even though it's not showing up on StreamYard. He wanted to make sure that let everybody know that he was not only first, but he was second and third with the comments. So big shout out to Coach Taylor, JMO in the building. We appreciate you. Big shout out to Roman. Thank you for stopping by, my friend,
Salute.
Jay Jean in the building says JMO always quick with it. First, second, and third comment. Big shout out to Jay Jean. We appreciate you stopping by. And JMO, he says he's fixing to eat some hot dogs and chili.
I was telling the Beard, I love how JMO says he's preparing his food. I'm fixing to go get me some Taco Bell today. I like that. I don't know where Jameson's from, but he giving me some South vibes one time.
Yeah, for sure. Big shout out to Stan Sakpase, my man.
Sir.
Appreciate you stopping by. Who else we got in the building? My man Yam from Japan.
Yams is in the building. What's
Pray
up,
for
Yams?
my sanity. HTTC. We appreciate you,
Yeah,
Yam,
it's a tough
for
matchup.
sure. Big shout out to one of our resident Cowboy fans. Kai001 is in the building. Appreciate you, Kai, stopping by. Big shout out to Chris Peace. Says, what's up, AATB? Let's go.
Let's go.
Indeed. Big
Gang
shout
is
out
back
to
in the building. Let's go.
Sebastian,
Hey.
AATB fam. What's
Sac
up?
passe.
Big shout out to Sean G. Was one of our recent winners in the past couple of weeks on Thursday night. I believe he won the H2 New York Giants Hummer and the Eli Manning card. So big shout out to Sean G. Appreciate you stopping by. Speaking of Twitch, big shout out to Tishim21.
Tishim.
T is him. Something along those lines.
That's like the you know how they be like, he is him, right?
Yeah.
Tis him. It's the way that like Shakespeare would say it. You know what I'm saying? Tis him. I like that.
I like
Digging
that.
it.
Checking us out from Twitch. Big shout out. We appreciate you. The heavyweight champion of the world is in the building. Simon is in the building. Quick fantasy question. Cordell Patterson versus Panthers or Kenneth Walker III versus Tampa Bay? Kenneth Walker III. I love Cordell Patterson, but Kenneth Walker III is on a tear.
I'd like to know who the other running backs are too, man, because Cordell Patterson's definitely balling out right now too, coming back off
For sure. This is an authentic shout out. Big shout out, Michael Knight.
Michael Knight. What's going on, fam? Hope all is well.
Big shout out to Waterfly. Says let Beard get some sleep, authentic, because he knows I've been on that grind the last couple of days, man.
Hey, we don't sleep. No sleep till Brooklyn, dog. No sleep till Brooklyn. I don't get no rest. I'm gonna be up probably till about 4 a.m. tonight or this morning, and I gotta wake up for a gig. I'm doing a gig with the homie Fred Yone, one of the dopest harmonica players in this entire planet. And I'm not playing when I say that. He's been touring with Dave Chappelle, and he's done a ton of stuff, man. Got me some big plugs, and we're doing a gig in D.C. with him tomorrow, man. So shout out to him. I'm going to be up around 9 a.m. Alvy going to be in the building, the Beard.
Oh, is he? Because he did tell me that. I talked to him, and because I was reminding him about game night. He was like, yeah, I'm going to be doing something with Awthentic. He didn't tell me what it was. He was very 007 about it.
Very, very incognito, trying to keep it under wraps. But, yeah, it's out there in the world now. Y'all know what it is.
Big shout-out to Flem Dog for the $2 super chat. Says, what's up, fellas? Appreciate you stopping by.
Salute to the fam. We still got a link, too. Flem Dog is local, and he was a winner, actually, of one of the trivias, man. We still got a link up, too, fam.
Indeed, indeed. And then big shout-out to Waterfly. He's always trying to cheer me up. I appreciate it, Waterfly. All right, ladies, they'll be starting early. 999, 999, 999, 999, 999, 999, 999. 2 touchdown, hi, Nicky.
2 touchdown. I like that little sneaky 2 touchdown right there. Shout out Waterfly one time.
And then big shout out. I see a bunch of other people in the building. Vintage Sports Flips. Kyle Metcalf. Appreciate you stopping by. Big shout out to ENA. We got time for the $4.99 super chat. Says, what's going on, fellas? I'm calling either 100 yards or 1 touchdown. I like that little or.
100 is gangster. I like that.
Or 1 touchdown. We could have 3 catches for 19 yards and a touchdown. Or 100 yards for the return of Kenny Galladay.
I wonder what the chances are of both. Now we'd be really talking,
100
right?
and a touchdown?
100 and a touchdown.
Man, that giant overreaction on Monday will be...
Oh, it'll be flames. Don't forget to tune in Monday. We'll be doing that at 1 p.m. Giant overreaction. Finally, off this bye week, we can really, really talk some football and not talk about flipping over ATVs and stuff like that, you know?
Big shout out to Simon. Shout out to the Awthentik and The Beard family. Y'all coming in early, showing some love. Forgot I have Chubb as well. Also, D Swift, RTDB.
Yeah,
you're good.
Kenneth Walker in the flex. Yeah, you're going to be good.
You are good, my friend. So appreciate everybody who is rocking with us tonight on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, let's talk some NFC East football, man. The best division of football. Y'all know what it is. We're going to start with these Cowboys and these Packers one time. All right, man. The Packers, man, in straight up struggle mode right now. The Cowboys are 6-2 headed to Lambeau Field to take on the 3-6 Packers. Cowboys are favored by 4.5. Kickoff is at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Cowboys coming off that bye. Last week, the Packers lost to the Lions 15-9. Packers are coming off 5 straight losses to not all good teams, I might add. The Lions, the Bills, who are a good team, the Commanders, the Jets, and the Giants, who are a good team as well. The Packers' other loss was opening week to the now 7-1 Minnesota Vikings. And the Packers were 3-1 after 4 weeks of football, headed to London to take on my New York Giants. People were thinking, oh, the Packers got this. They're going to beat the New York Giants. And since then, they've lost 5 straight games. During the 5-game losing streak, the Packers offense is averaging under 16 points per game. That is very not like your boy Aaron Rodgers one time. Rodgers has thrown for 8 touchdowns in his last 5 games, but he also had 3 interceptions last week versus the Lions. That's very unlike him as well. It's only the second time that Aaron Rodgers has thrown 3 interceptions in a game over the last decade. So the Packers, for me, what they're going to have to do to win this game, they got to get the ball into the hands of Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, man, is definitely a bona fide baller in this league. He's been doing it for a long time. The Packers against the Detroit Lions, they ran 33 plays in the first half of that game, and 6 plays went to Aaron Jones. You got to find a way to fix that over there. Aaron Jones right now is averaging 5.6 yards per carry. He only has 1 rushing touchdown on the season. That's so uncharacteristic of him. He's got 3 games of 100 yards, though, on the ground. That was super surprising to me because he's only breached 16 carries just once this whole entire year. 20 rushes for 143 yards versus the Bills. That was the game where he had over 16 carries. Every other game he's had under 16 carries on the season. Packers also going to have to try to find a way to stop Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. Tony Pollard's coming off that smash game before the bye, so I'm curious to see what the Dallas Cowboys are going to do as far as the touches and how they'll split that between Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard in this game. The Packers have the number 2 pass defense in the league. They're only allowing 170 yards per game through the air. So for me, it's going to be stop the run, force Dak to air it out, try to find a way to make Dak make some mistakes. Dak Prescott has been playing some good football since he's got back off the injury to his thumb. In back-to-back games, he has a completion percentage of 76.9. Like, we got a couple of quarterbacks up here in mid-70s right now. It's very surprising. Geno Smith leading the NFL this year, and he's somewhere in the mid-70s as well. Dak also has 4 total touchdowns. Packers are definitely going to have to get some pressure on Dak Prescott. You don't want to have him sitting back there in that pocket with all day to throw. And the injuries, man, the injuries that the Packers have, that's definitely not going to help them out. Linebacker Rashawn Gary, he's out for the year after tearing his ACL against the Lions last week. He led the Green Bay Packers defense with 6 sacks on the year. I want to say he had a sack in every game but 1, and he was on a 5-game consecutive streak, which was a Packers record as well. The Packers are also going to be missing Romeo Doubs in this one with the high ankle sprain as well. So for me, I'm praying to the football gods, man. I really want them to find a way for the Packers to win this game. We know the Cowboys are sitting at 6-2, equal to the New York Giants. Your Washington Commanders are in 4th place in the NFC East. Y'all really need a Packers loss here. I'm hoping that the Cowboys loss here. Sorry. And I'm hoping that the Packers can come off of this 5-game skid and find a way to win. Before I give a prediction and give you maybe my way that I'm going to try to finesse the Packers to get a win here, do you think the Packers have a chance in this one?
I mean, listen, you talk about the football gods, right? You see where this game is.
Oh, yeah.
We're in Lambeau. I mean, if you want a chance with the football guys, you got a pretty good chance to find them at Lambeau. I mean, they're usually up around the nosebleeds if you're talking about Lambeau. So hopefully it gets cold and, Dallas doesn't have their heated benches with them in Green Bay. But we'll see.
They do bring the heated benches. I remember last time I saw them was against y'all, actually.
Yeah, very, very petty. But listen, and we still don't even really know what Zeke's, level of health is. If he's going to play, is he going to wear a brace? Is that brace, is he going to be in a snap count? So that'll be interesting. But I think, it almost sounds weird, but I feel like it's almost better for the Packers if Zeke plays, just because it kind of takes away from the touches of Tony Pollard. And we've seen what Tony Pollard can do when he touches the ball. He has big play capability all over him. But
Facts.
Listen, Green Bay is a very weird team. And it's easy to just be like, the general public says, oh, well, they don't have any weapons and this and that. And they're going to need some guys to step up. You talked about Aaron Jones. A.J. Dillon needs to be a guy, too. A.J. Dillon has got to step up. They got to give him some love. I don't know why they don't use these two guys. Going into the season, we thought this was going to be one of the best 1-2 punches in the league.
Right.
And it's just not there. And Watson, the other rookie wide receiver, is going to have to step up and replace, Dobbs, because now you're basically just working with Lazard and Watson because you got Cobb and Dobbs are out. Yeah, it sounds like a 1970s cops show.
Watson's coming off an injury as well, right?
Yeah, he had a concussion. Yeah, he got a concussion last week. So, but what's interesting is you brought up the Aaron Jones 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
It's Green Bay is very, very weird. They're averaging 361 yards per game. That's 10th most total yards in the league this year. They've accumulated the 10th most yards, but they're red zone. They're not scoring in the red zone. They're 24th in the National Football League in red zone percentage at 50%.
That ain't gonna get it done.
So that's where I think the big problem is. And third downs too. They're putting themselves in bad positions. Third down percentage, they're 18th in the league at 39.6%. But the defense, obviously, Green Bay is going to have their hands full with Micah Parsons. Aaron Rodgers, though, is sneakily. He's not elusive, but he's smart.
Mobile, though. He's a little
mobile.
Right? He can move around in that pocket and create some time for sure. He's smart with his
movements, and I think that's what it is. And so, he knows the game, so he's probably going to do everything he can to avoid Micah Parsons. So it'll be interesting to see how the Cowboys defense disguises things and tries to attack Aaron Rodgers, especially him coming off of, like you said, a 3-interception game. But Green Bay's third down defense is something to keep your eye on. This game's going to be won and lost on third downs, like most of these games are that we're going to talk about today. Green Bay has the second best third down defense in the National Football League.
Okay.
They've only allowed 32.7% conversions on third downs. 32.7. That's really, solid. Really good, obviously.
Good work.
And then, but Dallas is not a good third down offense. They're 26 in the National Football League at converting third downs. They only convert 37.8% of their third downs. So this game to me is going to be won in the trenches, a lot of it. And obviously the turnovers are going to be something to keep your eye out on. I think turnovers kill both of these teams. And it's very easy to see, the Packers just had all those turnovers against the Lions, who statistically was the worst defense in the National Football League. Now they're going up against the Dallas Cowboys. So it'll be interesting to see if Green Bay can protect the ball in this game for sure.
Yeah, only 9 points last week against the Detroit Lions. That's very interesting, and that's a good point you bring up because their defense really was not that good coming into that game. I mean, they seem to have one of the best offenses in the NFL, one of the worst defenses, and the Packers really couldn't move the ball all day and really couldn't, put up no points. A lot of mistakes from Aaron Rodgers, though. That's very uncharacteristic of him. So I'm looking for him to take care of the ball in this game, man. I think them being at home, the Packers being at home, that should really help them out a lot in this game. If they were on the road, I would 1,000% take the Cowboys to win this game. I'm going to just go out on a limb here, and I'm going to go with my heart, because I really need the Packers to win this damn game. I mean, they've lost 5 straight. Kind of reminds me of the Buccaneers going into that game last week against the LA Rams, and we knew that both those teams were in desperation mode. You're trying to save the season there, and we're going to look back at it. Whoever, the Rams losing that game against the Bucs is going to be one we look back at and go, man, that's the one that really ended their season, and maybe the one that catapulted the Bucs, maybe to keep their run alive here. I think this game is very similar for the Packers, man. They got to win this game. I'm going with my heart, and I'm going with my gut in this one, man. They got to find a way to get pressure on Dak Prescott, but I'm going to pick the Packers in a fairly close game. I'm going to say 26-21 Packers.
I'm right there with you. If this game was in Dallas, I 100% would take Dallas. But there's something about this game being in Green Bay, the situation that Green Bay is in, like you said, must-win situation. Dallas coming off of a bye, maybe looking a little ahead. There's something fishy about this game. Now, listen, this game's going to go one of two ways. Dallas is either going to come out and absolutely destroy Green Bay, or Green Bay is going to make this an ugly game, and Aaron Rodgers is going to come out on top. So I am going to go with the latter. I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers in an upset 21-17.
Yeah, I think we're both picking with our gut and like trying to speak it into existence. Shout out to Kai 001 one time. He says, A-Rod is done, Awthentik. The boys will put that last bit. What is that? Let me see. I got to zoom in a little bit.
The last bit of dirt.
The last bit of dirt. I like how you said that. Bit of dirt.
Bit of dirt.
On Aaron's grave. I had to zoom in. These old man eyes, man. And my screen's like kind of like the resolution's very thin. But yeah, I definitely agree with you, Kai. If I had to bet some money on this game, I'd probably pick the Packers. I'll keep it real.
You mean the Cowboys?
I mean the Cowboys, yeah. But I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to pick the Packers here, man. I need the Packers to win this game. Giants are in a bit of a what we'd like to call a trap game. Y'all saw that in the title a little bit. And I do think that the Texans are going to compete. So I'm like, man, we got to keep that one up. Win on the Cowboys. They're both sitting at 6-2 right now, so it's going to be extremely tough down the stretch here, man. And all these divisional games coming up for the Giants at the end of the year, like we really need to go into the Cowboys game on Thanksgiving with at least a one game lead on them.
Is week 10 the official Fetty Wap week? Gucci Man week?
Fetty Wap? Gucci Man week?
Because there's a lot of trap going on out here.
It's so crazy that you just said that? When I was watching the preview from NFL.com on YouTube, they do their like weekly previews, whatever. They bring up like rankings and all that. The dude said, hope they're not listening to Future because this looks like a trap. I was like, bro, y'all trying a little bit too hard over there at NFL.com, dog. But I definitely feel you, man. So I got 26-21 Packers. You got
21-17 Packers.
21-17
sound crazy,
Packers.
don't we?
We do sound a little crazy. We'll see, man. We'll see. And there's always Sunday. Don't forget, you can pull up to the parlay where both of us might change our opinions on this game. We'll see how that one goes for sure, man. But I like that pick, man. I think we need the Packers to win. We need and want the Packers to win. Will they win? I don't know if that's the case for sure. We'll see, though. Oh, revenge game. We didn't talk about that. Revenge game. Mike McCarthy.
Fox has been pumping this game for the last 2 weeks. That's like the new rivalry has been restored between Aaron Rodgers and the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, with the old school like 60s football voice. I like that. But Aaron Rodgers did say in a press conference that with time he has realized the value that Mike McCarthy brought to the Packers. I thought that was a bit of a little shot at his coach, man. But we'll see how that one pans out, man. Like I said, we got another chance, man. If you want to renege on your pick with the Packers taking the W, you can always do that on Sunday. But we're definitely limited on time here, so let's definitely move into this next game. We got to talk about my New York Giants next one time, man, welcoming the Texans to MetLife.
Hits are on the board with 11:16 to go here in the third.
All right, man, let's get into the bag. Shout out to the graphics department one time. Y'all know what it is, man. The 1-6-1 Texans are headed to MetLife to take on the 6-2 New York Giants. The Giants are 6-2 for the first time since 2008. The Texans are the NFL's only team with just one win. They're looking at a number one draft pick right now. They had 2 of them last year. They're probably going to have 2 first-round picks this year as well. The Texans' 6 losses have come against the Broncos, the Bears, the Chargers, the Titans, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Philadelphia Eagles. 3 of their 6 losses have come by just 1-score deficits. Last week, the Texans lost to the Eagles 29-17. They put up a good fight in that game in the first half, scored for the first time on their first drive all season long. Eagles end up, taking care of business in the second half, which is very rare for the Eagles. They like to take care of business in the first half. The Giants are coming fresh off the bye. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This will be the 6th regular season meeting between the Giants and the Texans. The Giants lead that series 4-1. Giants are 2-0 at home and 2-1 on the road. So we're looking to keep that undefeated record at home against the Texans. The Giants will be without safety Xavier McKinney. Definitely keep your eyes on rookie safety Dane Belton, who I really like coming out of college. Man, this kid's a big hitter, great in coverage. I saw that Bob Papa and Carl Banks were talking about the situation with Xavier McKinney and the injury yesterday. And I thought that this was just like the perfect way to really sum this all up. I still see some conversations kind of lingering about Xavier McKinney. How responsible was it? Was he just living his life? Blah, 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 blah. Y'all know how I feel about it, but I felt Bob Papa and Carl Banks, especially Bob Papa in this segment here, really hit the nail on the head here speaking about Xavier McKinney.
You're 23 years old. You got a bye week. You want to get away. You want to go someplace where it's warm and go to a beach or whatever. You want to hang with some friends. I have no problem with that. These are human beings. We always talk about the fact that they're human beings. And I know that they're in season. And I know that you've got to continue to take care of your body because you're off that week, but you're not really off. It's not like you could go eat, 2 pizzas a day and abuse your body. You got to make sure you get your workouts in and everything else. My point of it is that's part is fine, but you've been away. I've been away. We have kids. If you want to go parasailing or you want to go paddle boarding or you want to go out on a boat or you want to go on jet skis or you want to go on an ATV or you want to go horseback riding, you got to sign a waiver because accidents happen. So they make you sign a waiver. And to me, the poor judgment is, okay, you're going to go away, you're going to go unwind and stuff. Don't do any activities where you have to sign a waiver. Mm-hmm. You don't have to sign a waiver to sit on the beach, go in the water, go in the pool, hang out, have a cocktail, whatever, play ping pong, whatever, go play some golf. But if you have to, if there's any activity that you want to do during your bye week and you're on vacation where you have to sign a waiver, that means that there's an element of danger to it. Stay away from it.
I agree.
I thought he summed that up perfectly, and Carl Banks was kind of giving Xavier McKinney a bit of the pass, just a little bit. And when Bob Papa broke that down, he really I love how civil they were about the debate. Unlike me and you, we get to screaming and yelling. Carl Banks is just like, I agree. Totally agree with that take, man. That's a way to put the whole nail in the coffin on that, man. That's exactly what it is. If you got to sign a waiver to go do an activity while you're on vacation, there's a problem with that. You got to be doing things where you don't got to sign a waiver. The reason why there's a waiver is because people get hurt doing those activities. But definitely encouraging everyone to go and subscribe to Carl Banks and Bob Papa. They have a podcast on YouTube. It's on the Believe Network, BLEAV on YouTube. Tell them Awthentik and The Beard sent you. A couple of highlights that I want to talk about from their episode yesterday that I thought was some great key points about this matchup. Carl Banks emphasized wrapping up when tackling. We saw Dameon Pierce breaking tackles, not only in just that game against the Eagles, but all season he's been doing it. People trying to hit him up top. He just bounces off these defenders and keeps it going. I'd say he's probably a front runner right now for Rookie of the Year. Definitely balling out with a team that's really not that good, to be honest. They also talked about how Saquon could shine in this game running the rock. The Texans' rush defense, man, is absolutely pathetic right now. They're ranked 32nd in the league. Texans have given up 11 runs of 20 or more yards. I want to say they said that Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley have 8 combined, 6 from Barkley, 2 from Daniel Jones. They ended the show talking about it would be extremely nice to see the Giants have a game where they're in control. We have not seen one game this season season from the New York Giants where they completely control it from start to finish. Slow offensive starts across the whole entire season, man, dating back to week 1 against the Titans. They've been struggling to put up points in the first half in damn near every game. So for me, I would love to see that as well. It's going to start with that hashtag that everybody in the chat knows about, man, RTDB. Giants definitely got to run the damn rock. They got to control the clock, and they got to stop Dameon Pierce. Dameon Pierce is 6th in the NFL right now with 678 rushing yards. Career best last week, too, against the Eagles with 139 rushing yards. The Giants are 4th in the NFL. I love this statistic right here. The Giants are 4th in the NFL in time of possession, holding the ball for an average of almost 32 minutes a game. We're going to need more of that. And I don't think Davis Mills is some quarterback where it's like, oh, we got to keep that guy on the sideline. But I think it's more important to control the clock because our running game has to be better than their running game. Saquon is coming off his lowest rushing total of the year. He had 20 carries for 53 yards against the Seahawks in week 8 just 2 weeks ago. He already has 3 100-yard games on the year. Saquon Barkley, most of us know he's 3rd in rushing, 3rd in scrimmage yards right now in the NFL, 779 yards on the ground. 968 total yards from scrimmage. This year, I thought this was a ironic pattern from Saquon Barkley. So this year, he's had a 100-yard game. Every time he's had a 100-yard game, it's followed by 2 games of under 100 yards. It's also been followed by his worst production of the entire season every time it's happened. I'm going to go over these. I was going to shout out to the graphics department, but we couldn't get that one done in time. So first week, he comes out the gates, man, against the Tennessee Titans with 164 yards on the ground. It's his biggest game of the year, right? Then he has back-to-back games of under 100 yards. So he had his worst game of the season to date against the Panthers with just 72 yards. He went from 9.1 yards a carry against the Titans to 3.4 yards per carry against the Carolina Panthers, and he didn't have a touchdown in that game. Then you go against the Cowboys, he only had 81 yards. Then he bounces back against the Bears. He has another 100-yard game, 146 yards on 31 carries against the Bears. Then he bounces back in the Packers game and has his worst game of the year, 70 yards on just 13 carries. That was his lowest of the season. Then he goes the game against the Ravens where he only had 83 yards, and then he had another 100-yard game against the Jaguars. So the pattern is a 100-yard game, 2 games of not 100 yards. A 100-yard game, 2 games of not 100 yards. Then he had 100 yards, 110 against the Jaguars on 24 carries. Last game against the Seahawks, that was his worst game. So if this pattern continues, Saquon Barkley's not going to have 100 yards against the Texans, but I'm hoping that the bye week throws a little bit of fork in there. Maybe we could count that as a week, right? And Saquon Barkley comes out the gates and he gets at least 100 yards against this Texans defense who's been struggling against the run. 2 of the biggest performances of any team rushing the ball has happened against the Texans. The Titans in week 8 had 314 yards against them.
So crazy.
It's ridiculous. And then in week 3 against the Bears, they allowed 284 yards rushing on the ground. Both those games versus the Titans. The Titans do have the worst rushing defense in the NFL. So this is my thing for you. What are you seeing with the rushing attack from both of these teams? And is there a way you think the Texans are going to be able to outrush the New York Giants?
I mean, listen, this is a game for the beard. This is this is like an RTDB bowl. Saquon Barkley and Dameon Pierce. If you guys haven't been watching, every Sunday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Awthentik and The Beard, the parlay. I've been saying Dameon Pierce, Dameon Pierce, Dameon Pierce, Dameon Pierce all season long, even when the first week when he didn't even really get that many touches. They kind of eased him in that first week, and everybody was hitting the panic button because Rex Burkhead. But you mentioned it. Pierce, 6th in the league in rushing yards this season. Now, New York Giants are averaging 161.5 yards per game now. Okay?
Get 'em.
The Houston Texans, you said it, worst rush defense. You know how many? They're giving up 180.6 rushing yards per game.
Don't say that 180 like that. I already feel like the Giants come out and get 65 yards on the ground or something when you say it like that.
Saquon better have 200 in this game or it's underachieving going against the Houston Texans. But listen, the problem for the New York Giants, and this is where they could lose this game. I think it would be hard for the Texans to win this game. Let's say this. It's more difficult for the Texans to win this game than it is for the Giants to lose this game.
Ooh, say that one more time because that's a bar right there.
this is going to be more difficult for the Texans to win this game than it is for the Giants to lose this game.
I like that.
That's the way I'm looking at this
Kirk
game.
Cousins, you like that on the soundboard. I'm going to chop that up. That's going to make its way up here.
Because the Giants are struggling in the red zone. Okay, that is one of the biggest problems that the New York Giants have. The New York Giants in the red zone.
Since we've drafted Daniel Jones, I will throw that out there. It's been a red zone issue for 4 years now.
It's weird because you would think with Daniel Jones' skill set that it makes him a guy that would thrive in the red zone.
That would be a threat, a la Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts, man, he get down to that red zone 2-point conversion. You know what it is every time. But also them injuries, those injuries too, definitely played a role for the New York Giants as well. But go ahead.
Absolutely. But 23rd in the National Football League in red zone conversion percentage at 50%. So they're only converting in the red zone 50% of the time. And even getting to the red zone is a problem, which is really interesting because you talked about the time of possession for the New York Giants.
Yeah.
And so the time of possession is there, and a lot of that comes from the ability to run the ball with Saquon Barkley, but it does not come from the ability to convert on third downs. They are 17th in the National Football League right now, only converting 39.6% of their third downs. So if the New York Giants want to win this game and not lose this game, they're going to have to find a way to punch it in the red zone, and they're going to have to find a way to convert on third downs. And obviously, they're going to have to stop the run game. They are only giving up 100 and what are they giving up? They're giving up 137.3 yards per game. That's 8th in the NFL. So the New York Giants rush defense is not that. No, that's their rush defense. They're giving up 137. That's 8th worst in the National Football League.
8th worst.
8th worst, yes. So you want to make sure that you stop Dameon Pierce because you got to force Davis Mills to beat you. Davis Mills can beat you. It'll be interesting to see if Brandon Cooks plays in this game. Obviously, he was inactive last week after the whole beef with the front office. So we'll see how things play out with Brandon Cooks. Nico Collins should be back for this game. But I still think, there's a way for both of these teams to come out with a W. It'll be interesting to go which one I pick, my New York Giants or my Houston Texans, from the way you guys talk about me on Twitter.
Yeah, we're trying to convert you over here, man, and, turn that maroon into a little big blue one time. But I definitely feel you on that. And you brought up the Giants' rush defense, which, we've definitely struggled against the run. We've had some injuries up front pretty much for the entire year, too. Can't forget, we started the year without Kayvon Thibodeau out there on the edge. You had Azeez Ojulari, who's been banged up pretty much all year. Leonard Williams missed a couple of games. And I feel like when Leonard Williams missed, a couple of games there, especially that Cowboys game, you really saw that the Giants' run defense really took a hit there. But Dexter Lawrence, man, he's been doing his thing. I'd look for him to get some pressure on the quarterback. Leonard Williams as well, man. He's coming off a season-high 8 tackles and his first sack of the season against the Seahawks, which is very surprising. Giants defense has 9 fumble recoveries this season, which ranks 2nd in the NFL right now. So they are finding ways to strip the ball. Missing Xavier McKinney, who's definitely forced one of those, and Julian Love's been doing a good job of doing that too. The crazy part about this is I'm not too worried about what the Texans can do with their offense with the passing attack too much. Davis Mills, man, he's really struggled this year, kind of having a bit of a sophomore slump. They don't got a lot of talent around him, and the injuries definitely piling up has not helped him. This stat kind of threw me for a bone right here, man. Davis Mills is one of 3 quarterbacks ever to be an underdog in his first 20 starts. So the Texans have not been expected to win games. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And Davis Mills has thrown 4 interceptions combined in his past 3 games. So he's struggling right now. You talked about Brandon Cooks. And Brandon Cooks, before the trade deadline, it seemed like he was pretty much begging for a trade, trying to get up out of the, Houston locker room and whatnot. And then it was a kind of a bit of a surprise to him is what it looked like that he didn't get traded. He took to Twitter with some cryptic tweets about that. But, I always talk about Brandon Cooks being the floor for what a wide receiver 1 looks like. It's weird that he's played on so many different teams. I want to say he was in New England for a while. He was with the Rams for a while. And I think he was with one more team, and the Saints. Yeah, he was with the Saints for a while there. But Brandon Cooks, he's been in the league now for 8 seasons. He's got 1,000 yards in 6 of the 8 seasons, man. This dude has definitely been balling out, but they just haven't found a way to make it work this year. And he kind of seems like he's a little bit uninterested in playing football down in Houston for sure. But also, you got to keep your eyes on Philip Dorsett. He led Houston, and this was such a shocking stat to me. Season high for Houston, 69 yards receiving. That's bad. I know we've had a pretty bad wide receiver core in New York, bunch of practice squad guys and whatnot. But when your season leader, I'd love to see what our season leader is as far as games go. 69 yards, man, that's really not it. You talking about, you brought up the comment on the screen just recently about Kenny Galladay, 100 yards and maybe a touchdown. Both of these teams are living in a fantasy right now if we think that's going to happen. But I do cross my fingers and hope that happens for the New York Giants. Now, Daniel Jones, I want to talk about him on the opposite side of the quarterbacks. Daniel Jones is going to need a big game here because we know Dameon Pierce versus Saquon Barkley. That's going to be the big matchup. But Daniel Jones could be the X factor in the New York Giants running attack. Like if Saquon Barkley starts to see some success early is what I want to see. I'm sick of this whole second half. He leads the NFL in the amount of rushing attempts. But when it comes to first half, he's sitting there somewhere around 15th in the league. I want to see a little bit more balance, get this attack going early so the Giants can put up some points early. But Daniel Jones could definitely be that X factor, and I think it'll be with his legs. I want to see him try to get in the end zone early, maybe on a boot, maybe some read option there for Daniel Jones as well. But find a way to use his legs to be able to get him in the end zone. Protection is going to be strange in this game. We're dealing with some injuries up front on the offensive line. Daniel Jones, he's already been sacked 25 times on the season. We got to keep our eyes on defensive end Jerry Hughes. He leads the Houston Texans right now with 7 sacks on the season. He had a season-high 5 tackles last week and 2 sacks last week in that game against the Philadelphia Eagles. So when you look at Jalen Hurts having troubles within the pocket, that fumble that he was sacked 4 times in that game. A lot of that is coming from Hughes and the pressure that Hughes has been bringing. Now, I'm extremely worried about the right side, but I'm not worried about our left side. Y'all know we got the best left tackle in the NFL right now. The league needs to be put on notice. Andrew Thomas, he's played 100% of the snaps this season, 538 snaps. He's the only player on either side of the ball to do so for the New York Giants all year. We've had people in and out of the lineup with injuries and also, Wink Martindale subbing people in and out of that line. Andrew Thomas is the only player who's been out there for every snap for one side of the ball. He's also the only player in the NFL. Shout out to Bobby for this nugget right here. He's the only player in the NFL that's allowed 0 sacks, 1 or fewer quarterback hits, and 10 or less pressures allowed. This is Andrew Thomas, the only player in the entire NFL that's done that. So we really got to keep our eyes out on the right side because we know Evan Neal's not going to be out there for this game. You're going to have Tyree Phillips out there for the Giants playing right tackle for the most part, and Daniel Bellinger. It showed up in that last game against the Seahawks. With him missing, he's an added weapon for that offensive line to be able to run block and chip block and be able to give Daniel Jones some more time. Like I said, Jerry Hughes likes to move around up front, so you're going to see him against Andrew Thomas, but you're also going to see him up against Tyree as well. So it's going to be tough matchup up front. I also think the reason why Saquon Barkley had his worst game on the ground last week is because of no Evan Neal on that right side. And also we had an injury at the left tackle. You're seeing Joshua Ezeudu step up and get more snaps there at the left guard position as well. So for me, man, the Giants are going to have to find a way to get crafty with running that ball. And that's where Daniel Jones comes in to me, is that X factor. Also, it looks like the Giants are going to be getting Kenny Galladay back this week. He's been practicing every day of practice this week. Galladay's statistics so far are pathetic, man. We got to find a way to get this guy involved. You saw when Kadarius Toney got traded, you saw a bit of a more energetic, team committed kind of player from the press conference that we got from Kenny Galladay, looking kind of like, boss man fired one of my guys. I can't be out here messing around no more. Kind of giving those, I'm here to do whatever I got to do for the team. It's not about I should be out there every snap now, okay? But Kenny Galladay on the year, 2 receptions, man, 22 yards. That ain't going to get it done. In 1.5 seasons with the New York Giants, 39 receptions, 543 yards, 523 of those coming last season. He's got 0 touchdowns still. That is not going to get it done. So I know that the Giants have multiple ways that they can attack. We saw it against the Packers in London where we kind of thought, hey, they were going to rely on that rushing attack for most of that game. But Daniel Jones came out in that game, and he was definitely slinging it a good bit, had over 200 yards through the air in that game. Whatever they do, I don't mind if they abandon the run a little bit in the first half. But if you're going to do that, Kafka, you got to get crafty in this passing attack here. We got to find a way to get the ball down the field, get Darius Slayton more involved in this pass attack, stretch the field. Let's take some deep shots, even if they don't connect. Take those deep shots to keep those safeties back. That's going to open up some more room for Saquon Barkley. For me, before I go to give you my score prediction, y'all know what everything I just said, I'm leaning towards my New York Giants. Y'all know what it is. I'm definitely not sleeping on the home team in this one. The Beard, what you got on this one? You going to pick your Texans to win, or you going with your secondary team, the New York Giants?
I mean, this is Fetty Wap week. I don't know.
This is Fetty Wap.
Listen, it's tough for me because I really think the Texans are a lot better than their record says they are. And you mentioned it early on about how many games they've lost in one possession games. I don't think that this is going to be the game. It's interesting because the Giants are coming off a bye week. I don't think this is the game yet that they control. I think they might get close to it, but I do think this is going to be a close game. I'm going to take the New York Giants to win generically 24-17.
Generically, I like that. 24-17. How many points did the Texans put up last week? 17 against the Eagles, I believe it was. Let me just double check. Scroll back here on these notes. 29-17. And to me, that was the best their offense has looked almost the entire year. I'm going to take my New York Giants in this one. I'm going to say this is going to be
the over is. The over-under is 40.5.
40.5. That's good because I was going to take a pretty low-scoring game, and I'm going to take the under in this one. I think the Giants win this one a little bit strange. I'm going to say 20-6 New York Giants. We're going to hold the Texans to 2 field goals in this game.
So an ungeneric score.
Very ungeneric. Yeah, very ungeneric. Yeah, I like that. And again, man, shout out to the graphics department, man. It's the first time we've had that white sitting on that blue like that, man. Shout out to the graphics department one time, man. I hope the Giants could get this win, man. You get the 7-2, I'm going to start thinking about the playoffs for real. Like, for
playoffs?
Real. Yeah, playoffs. Straight up. Playoffs. All right, so we're going to take a quick commercial break real quick one time. After we get back from that commercial break, man, we're going to be doing a trivia segment. A lucky Giants fan is going to be taking home a Daniel Jones rookie card. If you're not super selfish, maybe hit the Twitter, send out that link, tell them we're about to give away a Daniel Jones rookie card in about a good 2 minutes here. So just sit tight. We're going to take this quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the trivia segment.
Your wide receiver on IR? Aw, shucks. Your running back keep fumbling every week? Man, damn it all. Well, come chop it up with your boys. We are waiver wire tight. Awthentik and The Beard. Every Sunday morning, streaming live at 11 a.m.
Y'all know what it is, man. The parlay every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, man. I got a great fantasy win last week. Me and The Beard in this league were actually the two teams that had the high scores. We were fighting till Monday night to get the high score bonus for that week. I ended up edging The Beard by just a little bit. Edging The Beard. Kind of dropping some bars there one time. You know what it is. But, yeah, quick, what is that, like a quick $50 in my account one time. So shout out to Muhammad for running that league. I needs my money. Show me the money. He said by Saturday. Show me that bread one time. All right, man. So this is the time of the show where we cue up them jazz flutes one time. Let's hit them with the throwback. Trivia time. Hope y'all ready to win this Daniel Jones rookie card. Beard, show the family one time what they're going to be winning and give them the message you want to give them.
So, listen. If you're a New York Giants fan and you win the trivia, you will win a Daniel Jones Prism rookie card. Okay, so when you're talking about football cards, Prism is always king. So this is a Daniel Jones Prism rookie card. If you are a Washington Commanders fan, you will win an autographed Logan Thomas Virginia Tech mini helmet. If you are an Eagles or Cowboys fan, I have Eagles and Cowboy prizes over there in the box. So you'll see that if you win it. Shout out to Kai001. If you win this, you will win a Philadelphia Eagles prize.
We're not going to send the Dallas Cowboys fans like a bag of burning.
No. Where's Texas boy? Texas boy, I saw you in here earlier. He just comes in here and says 7-2 Cowboys.
Shout out to Texas boy one time. Okay, so like I told y'all at the beginning of the show, today's trivia question is quarterback driven. That's all you need to know one time. That's your hint. Get your Google fingers ready.
Oh.
Put your thinking cap on and the beard.
Wait. Yes. Remember, it is the first person that we see in our chat, which might look different than what you see in your chat due to different internet lags. So the only way to be fair is to go by what Awthentik and I see first in our chat. Okay? Just throwing that out there so there's no misunderstandings of who wins and who doesn't win, okay?
Big facts, big facts, big facts. Very necessary for them to know that, too, because we've seen that before. And shout out to Over the Years Sports for sponsoring today's edition of Trivia and also sponsoring the cards. Definitely got to shout you out, man. Give you some big props for that, man. We appreciate you supplying us with these gifts every week, bro. This is awesome, man. So make sure y'all go subscribe over there to Over the Years and also subscribe to Over the Years Sports. Those are both of the Beard's channels over there. A lot of vintage and antique collecting going on over there. It's just a bunch of jargon to buy y'all a little bit of time, to get your thinking cap on, man, and get ready for this trivia one time, man. Hopefully we get a different winner again. We've had different winners every week. Hopefully we don't get a duplicate winner. We almost had Max Webster win twice. I remember he missed it by the nick of time that one time.
Gonna be interesting.
All right, Beard, you ready?
I'm ready.
Do you know the question? Did I tell you the question yet?
I did not.
You should know this. You should know this. You should definitely know this. All right, today's trivia question. I hope y'all are ready one time. In November of 2004, this Giants player was on the receiving end of Eli Manning's first NFL touchdown pass. Chat, let's see how y'all populating these answers one time. Fabian coming in hot with the Warren Moon right off the bat. I like that. I like that one time. And also shout out to Entertainer Talking Sports who plugged us with this trivia segment. Said, man, if y'all want this Daniel Jones rookie card, you better get over there and rock with Awthentik and The Beard. So still waiting for the correct answer to come in one time. Ooh. Do you know the answer to The Beard?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so let me...
Somebody told me, I have an idea.
Let me tell you what it is so we can see if you got matching corresponding answers on your end. Check the private chat one time.
That's who I thought it was. Dang, we should have. All right, I'm going to show you something after that.
Oh, you got something nice for that, huh? You could have gave away,
So let me go up and confirm who I saw. Okay. Right.
That part right there is fire.
Is that who you saw first?
Yeah, that's who I saw first. Yep.
Okay.
All right, let's fade out the jazz flutes one time. We got a little bit of a trivia video for you guys one time for this answer one time. Shout out to Eli Manning, man. GOAT right now. His last touchdown pass was to Darius Slayton. We used that as a trivia question early on in the season. His first touchdown in the NFL is in this video right here coming up.
Manning over the middle. Has his first touchdown, and it's Shockey. Fight out of the Falcons lead. Well, watch Shockey's going to start to the outside and then back underneath on the route.
Big shout out to Oscar Unrated, the first one that we saw in the chat with the correct answer. Jeremy Shockey is the correct answer. He caught Eli Manning's first NFL touchdown pass on November 21st, 2004 versus the Atlanta Falcons. I went back and looked at some of those statistics. Eli Manning, that was his only touchdown in his first 5 games. He also had 2 interceptions in that game versus the Falcons, man. Started off extremely ugly for my guy, man. But y'all already know, man, Hall of Fame quarterback Eli Manning on his way to a jacket one time. But shout out to Oscar Unrated. Oscar, make sure you reach out to us either on Twitter or you can email us at authentic@allornothingstudios.com. You can reach out to either me or The Beard on Twitter, man. We'll get your address and get that shipped out immediately. Beard, you said you had another prize that might have been a little bit more suitable for this occasion here with this Jeremy Shockey answer one time.
All right. So, because that was the answer, next week, I'm just going to show you guys now.
I hear like peeling. It's like coming out the packaging.
No, it's just there's so many Giants cards I've collected for just this purpose.
Let me get
All right, next week, Jeremy Shockey autograph.
Cool. You heard it here first, man. The Beard and Over the Years Sports.
8 of 35. Only 35 of these Jeremy Shockey autograph cards are existing in the world.
We might have to edit this section out of the... I might have to keep that one right back here on the memorabilia shelf one time. Y'all know what it is, man. But shout out to Oscar Unrated, man. He's always tuning in, always checking us out, man. Definitely appreciate you rocking with us. That card will be on its way as soon as you send us your shipping address, man. We'll get that out to you as soon as possible. And we're definitely running up against the clock here. Y'all know kickoff is at 8:15 tonight, Eastern time, man. The Carolina Panthers are taking on the Atlanta Falcons one time. But we definitely cannot go without talking about the Beards Commanders one time, who are taking on the Eagles on Monday night. Let's get to it. All right, Mr. Beard, man, I'm going to try to run through this real fast so that we can get to your roadmap to victory for your Washington Commanders. I don't know how the hell you're going to see a roadmap today. I don't know how you seen it. This like driving in the middle of the night, man. You got a headlight out, your one headlight struggling, you in a 93 Honda Civic. I did post that picture of the 93 Civic on Twitter. A lot of people were digging that. I saw some awesome old school cars too, man. A lot of Preludes people were posting in that thread, man. So shout out to all of y'all one time. All right, man. So the Washington Commanders are headed up 95 to take on them Philadelphia Eagles one time. The Commanders are 4-5. The Eagles are 8-0. This one is Monday night at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time on ESPN. Opening line had the Eagles by 10.5. Last meeting was earlier this season. The Eagles defeated the Washington Commanders 24-8, where they relatively took care of business in that game in the first half. Last week, the Commanders lost to the Vikings in a tough one, man. 20-17. The Eagles beat the Houston Texans 29-17. The Washington and Philly, they've met 10 times on Monday night. 10 times on Monday night, the Eagles have won 7 of them. So that doesn't yield too well for you and your Commanders one time. Jalen Hurts has now won 11 straight regular season games dating back to last season. That's the longest active streak in the NFL. He's passed for 2,042 yards. Already halfway through the season, man, this dude's already breached the 2,000 mark. 12 touchdowns through the air. He's rushed for 326 yards and has 6 touchdowns on the ground. He's thrown just 2 interceptions while accumulating a 107.8 quarterback rating, which is second in the NFL right now. We know a lot of that damage has been coming with the addition of A.J. Brown in the wide receiver room. A.J. Brown has a team-best 718 yards and 6 touchdowns. I talked about Goddard last week, man. He was due for a touchdown. He had a 100-yard game, and he had a touchdown. Devontae Smith has been a bit quiet the last couple of weeks. In his last 2 games, just 7 receptions for 45 yards and 0 touchdowns. Eagles team, man, they really have no holes. This defense is extremely solid. Eagles defense has held opposing quarterbacks to a league low 68 passer rating. They also have an NFL best 12 interceptions on the year. That's led by C.J. Gardner-Johnson, the safety for the Philadelphia Eagles. He leads the league right now with 5 interceptions. The Eagles have scored 60 points off their 18 takeaways. So you got to watch out. We know Taylor Heineke, he's had an interception in each of his last 3 games, taking over for Carson Wentz. And speaking of takeaways, the Washington Commanders definitely took away Carson Wentz in this one. He's got the injury to the hand, 4th straight week. In 3 starts, Taylor Heineke has thrown for 629 yards, 5 touchdowns. He's rushed for 50 yards, and he has 1 touchdown on the ground. So he's not doing too bad, but it's those costly mistakes like the 4th quarter interception last week against the Vikings in that loss. Snapped a 3-game winning streak for the Commanders when Heineke threw that interception, and a bonehead penalty on special teams really put the nail in the coffin for the Washington Commanders one time. In Taylor Heineke's 3 starts, he has a quarterback rating of 87.6. He's definitely going to need some help in this game, man. Terry McLaurin leads the team with 609 receiving yards on the season, had over 100 yards in the first matchup with the Eagles. He's got 2 games of over 100 yards this year, one of them coming against the Colts, one of them coming against the Eagles. Lastly, for me, the X factor. Me and the Beard been talking about this for I don't even know how long, maybe 8 weeks. They got to get the ball to Antonio Gibson. I don't care what's going on with Brian Robinson. Yo, find a way to get the ball to Antonio Gibson. He's averaging only 9.8 rushing attempts per game on the season. He's got 89 total rushes for 328 yards, 2 touchdowns on the year. Last season, he finished with 258 attempts, man. That was 3rd in the NFL as far as rushing yards go as well, man. So I'm looking for Antonio Gibson to really get, more involved in this offense. It kind of reminds me of the Chicago Bears, right? Like, Chicago Bears, they were playing awful football for a couple of weeks there, right? And everybody in media, all the fans, they're all calling out the offensive coordinator like, bro, what are you doing? It's obvious that you need to play to Justin Fields' strengths. Get this guy out in space, have him running the rock. To me, it's the same thing with Antonio Gibson. Everyone across the league is saying Antonio Gibson should be the guy. For some reason, Scott Turner's not giving this guy the ball. I don't know if it's maybe coming from Ron Rivera or what's going on over there. But for you, let me know what you see as far as the roadmap to victory for the Washington Commanders, my brother.
All right. Listen, this is not going to be easy at all. There is a great possibility of a chance that Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles go out there and repeat Mike Vick on Monday Night Football. We all know
I think
how
you
that
said that
went
the
down.
first time, too.
I did say that the first time, but listen, it's definitely a possibility. But I think the Houston Texans showed us some ways to beat Philadelphia in last week's matchup. And obviously, Washington's going to have to get to Jalen Hurts. If they get to Jalen Hurts, though, they're going to have to get – because, Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne coming up that middle. But that means that Washington's going to have to be very careful on the edges. You're going to have to play contain. Because if you force Jalen Hurts from the inside and you force him out, Montez Sweat's got to be there to make the play, okay? So you got to contain on the outside. Don't over-pursue. Don't let I almost called him Antonio. Don't let A.J. Brown beat you deep, okay? You might have to play a little bit more two safeties over the top against the Philadelphia Eagles. The problem with that is that opens the door for Devonta Smith and Dallas Goedert. We saw what T.J. Hawkinson did to us last week against the Washington's roadmap should have been turned around. Yeah, amen. I'm down with that one, okay?
Shout out to Fabian one time.
$2 super chat. Great stream always. Keep it up. Go Giants. Boo Washington. Thanks, Fabian. Appreciate that. But yeah, so even if you take the top off with A.J. Brown, you have to watch out for Dallas Goedert. We saw what T.J. Hawkinson did to the Commanders last week. I think he had like 7 catches for 80 yards. So you definitely have to watch Goddard. He can be a problem for Washington in the middle of the field. Obviously, RTDB. Let's run the damn ball. That's going to be part of the roadmap. This game is going to come down, though, to third downs, okay? Third downs, Philadelphia. 45.9% conversion rate. Fourth best third down conversion rate. The problem is they're going up against my Washington Commanders, who have the third best third down conversion percentage defensively in the National Football League. We're only allowing teams to convert third downs 32.8% of the time. That's
so the
third
Eagles
best in the NFL.
Down. And that's the plan. Get it on first and second.
That's usually what happens. But okay, now we talked about Jalen Hurts and his ability in the red zone on numerous occasions, and it shows in the numbers. Philadelphia Eagles have the 5th best red zone conversion rate. They are converting in the red zone 70% of the time. But wait, the Commanders' red zone defense is the 9th best in the National Football League. We are only allowing teams to convert in the red zone at a 50% rate. So now that leads me to the roadmap. All right, roadmap time. Okay. 0 turnovers. Turnover Taylor's got to be careful with the ball, okay? Philadelphia Eagles have a plus 15 turnover differential. That is the best in the National Football League. Washington, on the other hand, -4 turnover differential, the 5th worst in the National Football League.
Not the vibes.
Not the vibes. Okay, so Taylor's got to be careful with the ball. RTDB, that's on every roadmap every week. There you go, Simon. 40 carries. I need 40 carries, and it's got to get Gibson the ball early. I want to see Gibson on the first possession because it took an entire quarter and 2 minutes and 50-something seconds until Antonio Gibson touched the ball last week. We got to get Gibson involved
with the turnovers,
early.
too. You know, if you can get Antonio Gibson going, that's when Taylor Heineke can shine and take care of the ball.
Exactly. And listen, we got to get some sacks, okay? Jalen Hurts was sacked 4 times last week. I am expecting the Washington Commanders to get 5. Count them. 5 sacks. I need 5 sacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sacks for the Washington Commanders.
I like it.
And last, but certainly not least, we're talking about drives, okay? Okay, we're talking about drives. You got to have some damn drives, Washington. None of these 3-and-outs, these -6 total yards on 3 plays situations. You got to sustain some drives, okay? And score some damn points, all right? Score some damn points on these drives. I came across an interesting stat for the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders have the absolute worst scoring percentage in the National Football League. For those of you that don't know what the scoring percentage is, that's the number of times that you score per drive, okay? Washington scores on a league worst 25.9% of the drives.
Not the vibes. Not the vibes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, those are the stops for the roadmap to victory. I'm going to let Awthentik pick this game first so I can talk myself into picking Washington.
I like that. I just sent you Oscar and Raider's address so you can get the card out and whatnot. I just wanted to take care of that right now.
Got it.
And I appreciate Oscar for sending me the screenshot of his YouTube name, because that would be an extremely sketchy way to just steal somebody's prize. Like, act like you was Oscar. So shout out to Oscar for winning that one time. All right, so as far as this game goes, man, and we got a super chat from the homie Sebastian.
Big shout out to Sebastian for the $1.99 super chat. Turnover Taylor and Wonky Wentz.
Wonky.
Wonky Wentz as your quarterbacks. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been tough. I had high hopes for Carson Wentz this year too, and he kind of fell flat. That injury definitely didn't help. With all that said, man, I can't go out on a limb and pick the Washington Commanders to win this game. I will be crossing my fingers for the upset, though. I will be rooting for y'all, but I just don't see it happening, man. The Eagles right now, they've played really good football. They've been taking care of teams in the first half, man. Jalen Hurts is playing outstanding football. We didn't even really mention Miles Sanders, who's been on a tear this season, man. With limited touches, he's been doing big damage. I'm going to take the Eagles in this one, and I'm going to really try to guess what the score will be. I think it's going to be like 31-10 Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, that's where I'm going with it, man. I ain't mean to break your heart.
It's okay. In my heart of hearts and brain of brains, wholeheartedly believe the Philadelphia Eagles will probably most likely win this game by a substantial amount, okay? That being said, there was once upon a time where Washington was around 500 and they were fighting for a playoff spot, and they were in the state of Pennsylvania on a Monday night facing an undefeated team. That was the Pittsburgh Steelers. And what happened? Washington came away with a victory. It's another Monday night against an undefeated team.
This is the speech you give the team
in the state of Pennsylvania. Okay,
you see the Beard's brow. You see the brow. I'm giving you that.
The Washington Commanders will follow the roadmap to victory. The Washington Commanders will run the damn ball. The Washington Commanders will get to Jalen Hurts, and they won't turn the ball over. They're going to score some damn points. It might not be a lot of points. But they're going to score some points. I'm going to take the Washington Commanders to win this game by a final score of 19-17.
19-17. You heard it here first. I like that. This editing department, get your scissors ready, because if the Commanders win this game, that's going to be a legendary clip right there. All right, he's taking the Commanders in a low-scoring affair. So defense. Y'all defense has been playing better. We've been talking about that a lot. Your defense has been playing much better. You said that the Texans give you a bit of the formula to win that game. I do agree with you on that. If you can find a way to stop that rushing attack, stop that RPO, limit A.J. Brown, and run the damn ball, maybe Washington definitely has a chance in this game. I used one of your vibes there. Maybe Washington definitely has a chance to win this game. That's a beardism right there.
At least I convinced one person. That's all I can hope to do.
Shout out to Simon Coleman one time in the building. All right, so we just got one more quick game, and this is going to be the Thursday night game, man. Shout out to everybody who tuned in, man. That trivia segment was on fire, man. Shout out to Oscar and Raider for winning that beautiful card, man. And you saw the card for next week. We got a Jeremy Shockey card. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. AATB, Awthentik and The Beard, the best television show not on TV. And we got this Logan Thomas.
Tell your Commanders friends.
Tell them.
This is an autographed Logan Thomas Virginia Tech fan. You might even know somebody who's not a Commanders fan, but's a Virginia Tech fan. I mean, Jiminetti.
Jiminetti. I like that. Jiminy Crickets. Jiminetti. I'm
That's
digging
what
it, man. I'm
Madu's
definitely
saying.
digging it. Jimenetti's a Madu saying?
Yeah.
Tell my Dukes I said what's up next time you see her, man. All right, let's get into this next one, man. We got Thursday night football, man. The Falcons are headed to Carolina to take on the Panthers one time. This matchup just happened just 2 weeks ago, man, and it was a crazy game, man. The Falcons are coming into this one at 4-5 now. I want to say they just fell to second place in that division. The Bucs just took the number 1 spot in that division. Carolina sitting at tiebreaker, right?
Yeah.
2-7 the Carolina Panthers are sitting at, man. Kickoff is in about a good 3 minutes here, 8:15 on Amazon Prime. I tell y'all every week I love their broadcast. The Falcons are favored by 3 points in this one. Last week, Falcons lost to the Chargers in a heartbreaker game on a game-winning field goal, 20-17. Panthers lost to the Bengals in blowout fashion, 42-21. Last meeting between these two teams was just weeks ago. We talked about that, where the Falcons won that game 37-34 in overtime on October 30th. DJ Moore had the game-tying score in overtime, got a penalty for taking his helmet off and celebrating. Kicker ends up missing the extra point. It was Moore's best game of the year, too, man. 152 yards in that matchup, and Atlanta snuck away with the victory. Panthers are definitely going to need to run the damn ball. That is the motto for this whole show. Last time these two teams met up, Deontay Foreman ran for 118 yards. He had 3 touchdowns in that game, too, man, against Atlanta. Falcons can run it, too. They got Cordell Patterson. They got Tyler Algier out there as well. The Falcons are the NFL's only team with 4 players with at least 250 rushing yards on their roster right now. Mariota has looked pretty decent, too. He's been helping out that rushing attack. He's also passed for 635 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions in his last 4 games, which is definitely on the up and up for Marcus Mariota. I tried him out as a fantasy quarterback for a week. That didn't work out too well. He only gave me like about 13 points. So fantasy-wise, not doing too well. Real football, he's been playing pretty decent. It would be great if Kyle Pitts could show up in this game too. Kyle Pitts had 5 receptions for 80 yards and a touchdown in the first game against the Panthers. That was 2 weeks ago. He fell back down to earth last week with just 2 receptions for 27 yards. Kyle Pitts only has 2 games with 5 or more receptions on the entire season. The Panthers are struggling though, man. And PJ Walker, man, he had some ups. That bomb that he threw to DJ Moore in that game against the Atlanta Falcons, 60 air yards from PJ Walker. He really surprised me. He's a smaller kind of stature quarterback. I believe he's like 6 foot. To throw that thing 60 yards, man, that's really good. But last week before he got benched, take a guess at what his passer rating was before he got benched.
6.9.
0.0. And PJ Walker was benched at halftime. The Panthers have not been good, man. They've lost 14 of their past 16 games dating back to last season, man. So they've really been bad. Tried out Baker Mayfield last week. I don't even know who's getting a start. I think it's PJ Walker again.
PJ Walker getting a start.
Wouldn't
Sam
surprise
Darnold's
me.
there too, and Jacob Eason. They got a whole bench
A
full
whole
of
roster of
journeyman
average.
backup average.
Yeah, man. With all that said, though, I cannot take the Panthers to win this game. I might be wrong. I mean, this is I think the Falcons are a little bit inflated a little bit. They're not as good of a team, I feel like, as their record says. But Bill Parcells once said, you are what your record says. For me, though, I got to take the Falcons in this game. I think it'll be a close scoring affair. I'm going to take the Falcons 27-24.
Dang, that was going to be my score.
Really?
Yeah. But, listen, the Falcons play hard, okay? I feel like there's some teams that are bad, right? And the Falcons were one of those teams that were with Seattle that people were saying could possibly be one of the worst teams in the NFL. They play hard. Every game they play hard. I love the way that they play football. I am a big Marcus Mariota fan. So for me, I think the difference in this game from the last one is that they're going to have Cordell Patterson in this game. You know, I think that's going to be the big difference maker. Obviously, as a Washington Commanders fan, I would like to see the Falcons lose this game for playoff implications.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but I just think I think they got the leg up on the Panthers. I think it'll be a fun game for 2 bad teams in a bad division. I mean, I don't think there's a winning record in that entire division. So, nope. It'll be interesting to see how this game plays out. Whoever runs the ball the best, I think, wins this. But I think Cordell Patterson is going to be the difference maker in this game. And I'm also going to go with a final score of 27-24 because that's what I was going to go with before. And I'm not going to change it.
Now, listen, if this game ends up being 27-24, these last 2 segments, editing department, we're going to need y'all to get on this, okay? Get them scissors ready, open up Adobe Premiere, get it all chopped up proper for us, okay? And I'm talking to myself here, okay? That's my. I don't know if y'all ever seen the Jamie Foxx bit where he roasted that one comedian, Doug. I want to say his name's Doug Williams as well. Roasted him off the stage pretty much, and he kept hitting him with, "This is your conscience speaking.
Oh
You're
my
bombing
God,
right
that
now."
was a good one.
It was terrible, man. I still hate Jamie Foxx for doing him dirty like that. Really ended his career. But the Panthers, man, they have been fighting for a team that lost their head coach, traded away their best player. You know, they got injuries across the board, dealing with a carousel at quarterback. They've been fighting. I will give them their props. They're not just dying, you know, and just like giving up pretty much. So I'm hoping they compete in this game, just like you said, for playoff implications. I mean, just as much for the Commanders as it is for the New York Giants. I hope the Panthers can win this game. But we both got 27-24.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes, man. Kickoff's probably just about to kick off right now, probably seeing the first possession right now. We definitely appreciate, man, everybody pulling up for this episode of Awthentik and The Beard, the best division in football, the best television show not on TV. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. We out here giving y'all this high-quality content for pennies on the dollar. Y'all know what it is. We definitely appreciate all the family members in the chat tonight, man. Again, shout out to Oscar Unrated for winning that awesome card, man. Rookie Daniel Jones card. Hope Daniel Jones can finish out this season the way he started this season and possibly be the Giants quarterback for the future, man. If he continues to play well, I think that yields well for the New York Giants. But again, man, it's been another episode of Awthentik and The Beard. Y'all know what it is over here, man. Keep raising that bar. Keep living those dreams because the universe flows in Technicolor and surround sound. Shout out to the GOAT of this podcasting thing, Combat Jack. And I'm going to see if this quote can show up on the camera, man. This quote, "Skate to where the puck is going, not where it has been." Wayne Gretzky. Let me see if we can get that one in focus right there.
Trying to get it over the Giants logo.
There you go.
There it is.
Ooh. Skate to where the puck is going, not where it has been. Wayne Gretzky. I think that's a basic-ass quote that has a ton of depth to it, man. But we will see y'all for our show on Sunday, the Parlay. Make sure y'all pull up, man. We're going to have some fantasy vibes popping over there, man, at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, thank you to everybody that pulled up and rocked with us, man. If you a new member of the family over here at Awthentik and The Beard, make sure to hit that subscribe button on your way out. Make sure to hit that like button on your way out. Let's see them biceps in the chat one time, man. Left side.
Strong side.
All right, fam. Y'all be good. We'll catch y'all on Sunday. Peace.